My beloved child, stop scrolling right now. Yes, I am speaking directly to you in this precise moment. Your thumb moved across the glass, but your spirit pulled you to a complete halt. And as you sit here listening to these words, you must realize that this sacred intersection was arranged long before you ever felt the heavy burden on your chest. You did not stumble onto this audio by chance. Heaven scheduled this encounter. For many months, you walked through a dark valley. You carried unanswered prayers like heavy stones in your pockets. Every door seemed locked, and even though you tried your best to remain faithful, a quiet voice whispered that your efforts were completely useless. You felt forgotten. You felt invisible. You wondered if I was even listening to your desperate cries. I watched you cry in silence. I saw every tear that fell onto your pillow when the house was quiet. You put on a brave smile during the day for everyone around you. But when night came, you collapsed under the crushing weight of your silent warfare because you believed you were losing the battle. The world told you that you failed. Your own mind agreed with that lie. Today, I am breaking my silence to deliver a divine correction to your spirit. Look at my words right now. What I am about to tell you will sound completely insane to your human understanding. You thought you lost. You thought the enemy destroyed your future. But heaven has recorded a very different truth in the scrolls of eternity, and angels are celebrating your unseen victory. Listen to me clearly, my royal child. You finally did it. You survived the storm that was designed to swallow your identity whole. And because you chose to hold on to the tiny thread of faith when everything else collapsed around you, the court of heaven has officially declared your breakthrough. You completed the test. The trial is finished. The enemy tried to make you quit. He threw financial hardship and emotional exhaustion at your living temple. He wanted you to walk away from your destiny before you reached the finish line. And while you were weeping on the floor thinking that your life was falling apart, you were actually pushing through the birth canal of your divine authority. My power was made perfect in your weakness. You did not break. Now, a major shift is set in motion over your household. Within the next 72 hours, an unexpected door will unlock in the physical realm. The resources that were held back from your hands are finally being released by my command. And as the heavy chains of delay shatter into pieces today, you are stepping out of the dry wilderness and into the land of your royal inheritance. This is not a human promise. This is a prophetic decree. If your spirit recognizes my voice tonight, do not turn away from this message. The world tries to distract your focus with endless noise and chaotic worries. Satan wants you to scroll past this video so you miss the strategic instructions prepared for your restoration. But because I love you too much to leave you in darkness, I am commanding your spirit to stay still right now. Give me your attention for just a few moments. Your life will never be the same. You have spent enough years carrying the heavy burdens of your ancestral line. You were chosen to be the chain breaker in your family. The curse of constant lack and sudden loss stops with you tonight. And as I wipe away the deep shame that covered your name for so long, I am placing a crown of beauty on your head instead of ashes. The season of secret suffering is officially closed. Do you know why the spiritual warfare was so intense over your mind? The enemy saw the massive glory that was scheduled to manifest in your hands. He tried to extinguish your light before you could see the fruit of your sacrifice. But while the dark forces raged around your life trying to destroy your hope, I protected you behind the eternal veil of my presence. I hid you in the shadow of my wings. You are my precious vessel. Stop calling your emotional numbness peace. Stop convincing yourself that silent endurance is maturity. You carry a wounded heart behind that polite mask. And even though you have been pretending to be strong for everyone around you, I am breaking into your reality to heal every single crack in your soul. You do not have to perform for me. You do not need to bring me a perfect life. I want your surrendered heart. Bring me your exhaustion right now. A divine emergency was declared over your lineage, and heaven is stepping down into your physical location. The boundary line between your past struggles and your future expansion is collapsing today. You are about to witness the salvation I have prepared for your eyes. And as you lift your head from the dust of defeat today, know that the royal blood in your veins guarantees your complete victory over every obstacle. Open your spiritual ears. Prepare your vessel for overflow. Listen closely to what I am about to speak into your atmosphere. What I am unveiling in this video is your personal roadmap out of the dark maze. The strategy for your financial restoration and spiritual peace has been sealed in my heavenly court. If you walk away now, you leave your living temple unguarded against the storms of this world. But if you remain still in my presence and receive these words with faith, the heavy dark clouds hanging over your household will completely vanish before tomorrow morning. Stay connected to my voice. Open your heart wide. The turnaround you prayed for is happening right now. I want to talk to you about the quiet hours of the night. Everyone else in your house is fast asleep. The world around you is completely still. But your mind continues to race like a runaway train because your spirit cannot find rest. You turn from left to right on your bed. You adjust your pillow again and again. Yet the heavy shadow hanging over your spirit refuses to leave your room. I saw you lying awake at 2:47 in the morning. You were staring blindly at the dark ceiling. Your eyes were wide open in the quiet shadows. And as you felt a tight knot forming in your throat, a cold wave of anxiety washed over your chest for no clear reason at all. You tried to breathe deeply. You told yourself to stay strong. But the suffocating pressure felt far too real to ignore. I watched you retreat into the bathroom late at night. You locked the door very quietly. You turned on the faucet so the sound of running water would drown out the noise of your painful sobs. You leaned over the sink with tears streaming down your face because you could no longer carry the heavy mask of perfection. You washed your face with cold water. You looked into the mirror and forced a hollow smile before walking back out. You think nobody noticed those secret moments of weakness. You believed your pain was completely invisible to the universe. But I was standing right beside you in that dark bathroom. I counted every single drop that fell from your eyes. I recorded every silent sigh that died inside your throat before anyone could hear your desperate cry. You were never alone in that dark room. My presence surrounded your breaking spirit. Let us speak openly about your financial burdens tonight. You have stared at your phone screen with a sinking feeling in your stomach. You refreshed your banking app again and again while hoping for a miracle. And every time you saw those low numbers staring back at you, a sharp panic gripped your heart because the bills kept mounting higher and higher. You work continuously until your physical body breaks, yet your resources continue to leak away like water through a net. You feel ashamed when you cannot provide for those you love. You lie in bed asking why honest labor yields such small rewards for your household. The spirit of lack has been stalking your footsteps for years. It tells you that you will always remain trapped in debt. It whispers that your lineage is cursed to struggle forever. But I want you to know that those financial shackles were forged by dark forces to exhaust your spiritual endurance. I also saw the deep scars left by betrayal in your heart. You trusted people who promised to stand by your side. You poured your precious energy and love into relationships that only harvested your strength and left you completely empty. And when the fierce storm hit your life, those same people turned their backs on you and pretended they never knew your name. The sting of their abandonment cut deeper than any physical sword. You built a thick wall of ice around your heart to protect yourself from future wounds. You called that cold distance wisdom. You called that emotional isolation maturity. But inside that hidden fortress, your true self is suffocating under the heavy weight of loneliness. You walk through crowded rooms feeling totally isolated from everyone around you. Nobody truly knows the real pain you hide behind your polite answers. You are always the strong one for everyone else in your life. People run to you when their lives are falling apart. They unload their worries into your hands because you always know what to say. But when your own world begins to crumble, everyone vanishes into thin air. You look around for a shoulder to lean on, but you find only EMTY chairs. You are exhausted from being everyone else's savior while nobody saves you. Listen to me right now, my weary child. Do not allow your mind to wander back into the terrifying fears of tomorrow. I am pulling your attention back into my quiet sanctuary tonight. The heavy tears you shed in secret were not wasted on the cold floor. Every single one of them was collected in a sacred golden bottle before my throne. Your suffering has been weighed. Your patience has been evaluated. Your endurance has reached my ears. You are not crazy for feeling completely drained. Your biological body was never designed to carry the heavy burdens of the future on its own. You have been trying to solve divine problems with weak human intellect. You have been gripping the steering wheel of your destiny so tightly that your knuckles have turned pale. Today, I am asking you to let go of that tight control. Release your heavy grip right now. The enemy wants you to believe that your current exhaustion is your final destination. He wants you to lie down in the dust and surrender your dreams forever. But I am using this season of intense shadow reading to show you that your vessel is being refined. What felt like an agonizing destruction was actually a necessary cleansing of your spiritual foundation. The dark valley was allowed to reveal what needed to be restored inside your heart. Stay still in my presence as we move deeper into this revelation. The dark night of your soul is coming to an abrupt end. The pain you suffered in silence is about to yield a massive harvest of peace over your household. I am rewriting your story from the inside out. Open your spirit. Receive my comfort. Your restoration is officially underway. Stop calling your silent endurance maturity, my beloved child. You walk into your workplace every morning with a polished smile glued to your face. You greet your neighbors with warmth. You answer every casual question with a cheerful phrase like everything is good. And while you pretend that your life is thriving, your true spirit is screaming for help behind those rehearsed words. You have convinced the world that you are completely unbreakable. I see the deep biological fatigue settled in your physical body. Your muscles ache with a heaviness that sleep cannot cure. Your nervous system is constantly on high alert because you have been fighting invisible battles for far too long. Every single cell in your living temple is crying out for relief. You drag your feet through daily routines while feeling detached from your own skin. This silent exhaustion is not your assigned fate. You told yourself that this constant misery is your permanent destiny. You believe that carrying a bruised and bleeding heart is a burden you must endure until your final breath. But I am stepping into your reality today to shatter that destructive lie. I did not create you to be a perpetual martyr. I never commanded you to suffer in quiet isolation just to prove your loyalty to my name. Endurance without hope is a trap. You wear that heavy mask because you are terrified of becoming a burden to others. The last time you opened your heart and showed your vulnerability, people judged your weakness. They used your honest tears as ammunition against you, so you closed your doors. You built an armor of self-sufficiency around your soul. You decided that taking care of everything by yourself was safer than trusting human hands again. That false shelter is suffocating your spiritual life. Self-sufficiency is just pride wearing the humble robes of survival. It tells you that you do not need help from heaven or earth. And while you continue to carry heavy furniture up steep hills alone, your knees are buckling beneath the weight. I am asking you to take off that suffocating armor right now. Drop the heavy coat of performance at my feet. Listen closely with your spiritual ears right now. The season of pretending is officially over. You do not have to perform for my affection, and you do not need to present me with a neat life. I love the messy version of you. I want the exhausted and broken pieces that you hide from the world. Bring me your raw reality today because my grace is fully sufficient to rebuild your broken altar. A true warrior knows when to lay down their weapons and rest in the arms of the king. You have fought bravely in the dark wilderness. You have defended your family and carried your burdens without complaint. But today, heaven is issuing a divine discharge from that exhausting cycle. You are moving from silent survival into active restoration. The heavy chains of emotional isolation are snapping right now. Take a long, deep breath into your lungs. Feel my peace filling the empty spaces inside your chest. The fake smile is no longer required for your survival because my real joy is taking its place. You are stepping out from under the shadow of silent suffering. Your identity is no longer defined by how much pain you can absorb. Prepare your heart, for the divine construction of your breakthrough begins in this very hour. You were not born to bleed in secret forever. Dark forces used your high capacity for pain to keep you trapped in a cycle of silent torment. They convinced you that your quiet suffering made you holy, while they slowly drained your physical vitality. But true holiness is not measured by how much damage your soul can tolerate. True holiness is walking in the absolute freedom and authority that was bought for you with a price. I am stripping away that heavy false identity tonight. You are not a helpless victim destined to carry generational grief until you die. You are a royal heir who was temporarily covered in dust. The dirt of your past struggles cannot diminish the royal value of your soul. And as I wipe away the deep grime from your eyes today, you will finally see yourself through the eyes of heaven. Let the old ways of coping die right now. No more pretending that your spirit is thriving when you are starving inside. No more hiding in dark corners to weep alone. Open your mouth and speak your true need into my atmosphere today. Tell me where it hurts the most, because the great physician has entered your room. Your season of hidden wounds is over, and your public victory is about to be unveiled. You must pause your worries. Heaven is rearranging your steps right now. You spent many painful months grieving over failed plans. You felt deeply humiliated. And as you watched other people move forward effortlessly into victory, your own life seemed completely frozen in the dark. You assumed that you lost. My divine favor. You labeled your detour as a total failure. I need you to hear my voice clearly today. Your natural eyes saw a devastating loss. My sovereign spirit orchestrated a strategic protection from heaven. If I had allowed you to walk through those open doors, you would have been destroyed by the hidden traps planted by your enemies. Those people were toxic wolves in sheep clothing. I closed those paths to save your soul. You thought the silence meant abandonment. You believed that I stood far away while your heart was breaking into small pieces. Behind the heavy curtain of the invisible realm, I was actively commanding the winds to blow away the false friends in your life. I built strong walls around your future. Dark forces could not steal your royal blessing. Every rejection was a divine rescue. Think about young Joseph in the ancient scripture. His own brothers hated him for his divine dreams. They stripped him of his colorful coat. They threw him into a deep pit in the dry wilderness. He sat in that cold hole crying out for mercy while his own bloodline turned their backs on his tears. He believed his life was ending in shame. Joseph believed that his sacred story was over in that dark hole, but my wisdom called that pit a secure holding cell. If his brothers had not thrown him into that dark location, he would have remained a simple shepherd boy in his home. The pit kept him hidden from deadly assassins until the royal caravan arrived. It was his divine transportation to Egypt. Even when Joseph was sold into slavery and falsely accused in the palace, the dark prison became his next holding room. He spent years in the dark dungeons waiting for a promise that seemed dead. Yet every closed door and every false accusation was actually moving him closer to the throne. The prison was the final waiting room before his sudden promotion over the entire nation. Your current wilderness serves the exact same divine purpose today. The pit of financial stagnation was not designed to bury your identity. It was a heavenly security decree. I pulled you away from the noisy marketplace so I could refine your character in quiet isolation. You are my golden vessel. Golden vessels must undergo the sacred heat of the furnace. A golden vessel never complains inside the roaring furnace. The intense heat feels destructive to the raw metal, but the fiery pressure is the only method that burns away the cheap impurities hidden deep inside. The master goldsmith sits patiently beside the flames until he sees his own clear reflection on the liquid surface. I held you in the fire until your spirit was cleansed. You asked me for massive kingdom wealth while carrying a small, fragile vessel. The large financial harvest would have shattered your soul into pieces. So I allowed the uncomfortable pressure to stretch your spiritual capacity. And as the heavy trials pressed against your living temple day after day, your inner capacity expanded to hold the eternal glory of your calling. You were being prepared for expansion. You are not a helpless survivor begging for crumbs at secular tables. You are a chosen container that was forged in the deep fires of trial. The world measured your worth by the temporary emptiness of your hands, but heaven evaluated your royal identity by the eternal weight of the promises written in your scroll. Your vessel is now ready for the master use. Type 777 in the comments right now as a physical sign in the spiritual realm. Do not do it for an algorithm. Do it as a legal declaration that your refinement is complete. Let the atmosphere record your physical submission as you step into your new royal identity today. Your season of lack is broken forever. Stop looking back at closed doors with bitter anger. Those heavy locks were turned by my own sovereign hand to preserve your royal destiny. The people who walked away were legally removed from your path. They lacked the spiritual clearance to enter your next season. You do not need the approval of those who left your side. You are standing at the exact edge of your royal transformation today. The pit of testing is behind you. Palace gates are swinging open before your eyes. Every bitter tear you wept in the furnace was converted into spiritual authority for your family line. You are stepping out of the desert and entering your kingdom inheritance. Listen closely as I prepare your vessel for ultimate overflow. Take a deep breath and open your hands right now. The shifting of your foundation is almost complete. You passed through the dark night of testing. You did not curse my name when your heart was breaking into small pieces. And while the enemy waited eagerly for you to abandon your faith in the wilderness, your stubborn obedience silenced the accuser in the court of heaven. Your trial is officially finished. Heaven has recorded your final grade in the books of eternity. You proved that your devotion was not dependent on temporary comfort. You worshipped me when your bank account was empty. And because you guarded your integrity while walking through severe lack, heaven has judged you trustworthy to manage true kingdom wealth. The wilderness period served its divine purpose. You are moving into an era of divine expansion. Look closely at what is happening inside your spirit today. The old narrow container you carried could never hold the massive glory prepared for your bloodline. If I had poured the fresh oil into your former vessel, it would have burst under the intense pressure of the harvest. So I allowed the heavy trials to stretch your capacity. I pulled you away from human help so your vessel could grow deeper. I am patching every crack in your soul right now. Dark forces used past trauma to create small leaks in your vessel. You worked tirelessly for years, yet your peace and resources kept draining away. But as my living water flows through your temple today, every emotional wound is sealed shut by my holy presence. No more spiritual leakage will diminish your joy. Your vessel is fully restored. A new wave of kingdom inheritance is moving toward your doorstep. This is not a temporary relief package from the world. It is a generational transfer of resources designed to break the curse of poverty over your family line. Satan tried to keep your ancestors bound in silent poverty for 3 generations, but heaven chose you to be the legal chain breaker who reclaims the stolen inheritance today. Do not measure your future by the current emptiness of your hands. The world looks at visible evidence before it dares to believe. But faith sees the eternal abundance in the invisible realm long before the physical manifestation arrives. Your spiritual vessel has already been upgraded to hold royal resources. What you are about to receive will shock those who doubted your calling. Prepare your household for a sudden overflow. You spent enough years living in survival mode. You calculated every penny with fear sitting on your shoulder. And whenever a small financial blessing entered your home, a sudden emergency arose to swallow your profit. That vicious cycle ends today. I am rebuking the devourer from your harvest because your vessel is legally secured under my covenant. I am expanding your spiritual authority along with your material capacity. You were not created to be a mere receiver of bread. You are a royal steward appointed to manage kingdom wealth for divine purpose. As the windows of heaven open over your life, you will become a mighty fountain that feeds many weary souls in the desert. Your abundance will bring light to those in darkness. Listen to me clearly as we approach the threshold of your breakthrough. The enemy knows that his time to oppress your mind has expired. He sees the golden oil filling your newly expanded vessel. And because he cannot stop the divine decree over your life, he will throw small distractions to pull your focus back into fear. Stand firm in my presence. Do not look back at the desert. Your identity is in full alignment with your royal inheritance tonight. You no longer think like an exhausted slave surviving day by day. You carry the bold mindset of a royal heir who commands peace over the storm. The heavy shame of your past struggles is completely washed away by my sovereign love. Step forward into your assignment with your head held high today. Anoint your head with oil in your spirit right now. Feel the heavy burden lifting off your shoulders as my power settles upon your soul. The long season of hidden preparation is finished, and the public manifestation of my glory is beginning in your atmosphere. Every promise I spoke into your quiet nights is coming to life. Your vessel is expanded, sealed, and ready for overflow. Hold your position in faith as I unleash the next level of spiritual authority over your life. The dark forces that surrounded your home are beginning to tremble before the light rising inside you. You passed the test in the dark, and now you will dance in the light of my promises. Lift your eyes to heaven. Your new beginning starts in this very hour. The enemy tried to convince you that your small beginnings were proof of my denial, but heaven calculates growth through the depth of your spiritual roots in the dry soil. Because you remained planted when the hot winds of adversity threatened to dry you up, your roots have finally reached the underground rivers of my eternal grace. Your branches are expanding to bear fruit that will last for generations. Wake up right now, my royal warrior. Do not let physical fatigue sleepwalk your spirit through this critical intersection. I am issuing a solemn alarm into your atmosphere tonight because the spiritual warfare over your destiny has reached its absolute climax. The enemy sees your expanded vessel filling with golden oil, and he knows his illegal occupation of your life ends today. He is making his desperate final attempt to keep you bound in darkness. The dark forces do not attack dead targets. The intense resistance crashing against your mind is absolute proof of the massive glory waiting behind your threshold. Satan deployed the dangerous spirit of delay to ruin your focus at the very last step. He whispers that you should wait until tomorrow, that you should put off your obedience, and that your victory is far away. That subtle lie is the most lethal trap forged in the caverns of hell. Delay is rebellion wearing the deceptive mask of human logic. Every time you agree to postpone your spiritual awakening, you allow dark forces to leak your anointed power into the dirt. Satan wants you to stay passive while he plunders your generational wealth. But I am stepping into your living temple tonight with a fiery sword. I command every spirit of hesitation, fear, and mental paralysis to break off your mind right now. Look at the heavy chains that bound your bloodline for decades. The dark phantom of sudden poverty that ruined your parents is trying to attach its cold claws to your children. The chronic sickness that drained your family resources is trying to settle inside your physical body. The spirit of premature death and constant failure has stalked your family tree for 3 generations. But tonight, the legal line is drawn in the eternal realm. I stand before the courts of heaven as your sovereign defender, and I declare an absolute decree of total emancipation over your bloodline. Every ancestral curse operating against your name is officially revoked by the living blood of my covenant. Every legal document signed by dark forces in the realm of night is torn into pieces right now. The illegal squatters in your health, finances, and mind are evicted by my holy mandate. Open your mouth and speak with royal authority right now. Say out loud, Satan, your time over my household is expired. Sickness must bow before my name. Chronic lack must collapse before my decree. The heavy chains of anxiety, depression, and financial fear are snapping like dry twigs under my feet. You are no longer a helpless slave trembling before the storm. You are an armed ambassador carrying the full backing of heaven behind every single step. I command the gates of brass to break in pieces before your face. I smash the iron bars of stagnation into dust. The hidden treasures buried in dark places are legally unsealed for your hands tonight. The resources that were stolen from your ancestors through deception and unfair battles are being recovered with compound interest. The bank accounts that were frozen by dark blockades are unlocking under the fiery heat of my presence. Every spirit of infirmity attacking your living temple, hear the voice of your Creator. I speak health, restoration, and vibrant vitality into your bones. The disease that doctor reports called permanent is bowing its knee before my sovereign word. Your physical body is being washed clean by the living water of my spirit. Pain is leaving your joints. Sickness is dissolving from your organs. Your youth is renewed like the eagle. Listen to the thunderous roar of the Lion of Judah, shaking your room right now. The dark shadows that haunted your quiet nights are scattering in 7 different directions. The dark altars raised against your financial expansion are consumed by my holy fire. No weapon forged against your destiny shall prosper. Every voice accusing your identity in the dark hours is completely silenced by my sovereign decree. The financial blockades that forced you to beg for secular crumbs are collapsing into rubble. I am breaking the curse of working like an elephant to eat like an ant. The spirit of the devourer that ate your profits before you could enjoy them is rebuked forever. I release the heavy rain of divine favor over your physical territory. Unexpected checks, canceled debts, and supernatural business blueprints are locating your hands right now. You will no longer live on the defensive side of life. You are stepping onto the offensive battlefield as a conqueror. The enemy pushed you to the very edge of the cliff, hoping you would fall into despair. But he did not realize that I gave you golden wings of faith in the dark valley. You are rising above the storm. You are soaring above the dark clouds of lack and fear. Your royal destiny is unstoppable. Take back your joy. Take back your peace. Take back the spiritual inheritance stolen from your household. I place the golden key of David into your hands tonight. What you lock on earth remains locked in heaven, and what you open on earth remains wide open for generations. Step out of the graveyard of dead hopes. Step out of the dry valley of dry bones. Your dry bones are coming to life right now. Feel the fiery surge of my holy strength flowing into your spirit. The heavy weight that crushed your shoulders for 20 years is shattered into fine dust. You are free. Your children are free. Your finances are free. Your living temple is cleansed, consecrated, and legally sealed against dark counterattacks. The battle is won. The victory is declared. The royal decree stands unshakable forever. The dark forces thought they had locked you in a maze with no exit. But I am your waymaker. I am breaking down the stone walls of resistance that blocked your spiritual vision. As the bright light of my glory fills every corner of your room, every dark phantom of fear must flee from your presence. You are standing on holy ground. Walk forward with absolute boldness, for the King of Glory is leading your march into total restoration. Lord, I come before your sacred altar tonight with a completely surrendered heart. I lay down my pride, my fears, and my frantic desire to control my own destiny. I am so tired of fighting battles in my own weak strength. And as I stand in the stillness of your holy presence, I release every heavy burden that crushed my spirit for so many long years. I stop running. I stop striving. I confess that I tried to fix my broken world with human wisdom. I built thick walls around my soul to protect myself from pain, but those walls only trapped me in quiet loneliness. I admit my exhaustion to you today. I yield my ego to your fire because I know that my self-sufficiency was just a foolish mask for my deep terror. Take my life completely. Wash my mind with your living water right now. I surrender every bitter memory of betrayal that burned inside my chest for years. I forgive those who wounded my trust and walked away when I needed them most. I choose to release their debts from my hands today because I refuse to allow past wounds to poison my royal future. I let go of resentment forever. Lord, I lay down my financial panic at your feet. I repent for staring at my low numbers with fear instead of trusting your infinite abundance. You are my true provider, and I declare that my household belongs entirely to your kingdom. And as I yield my wallet, my debts, and my future plans into your sovereign care, I receive your unshakable financial peace. I trust your divine timing. I melt before your divine love tonight. Every hard stone inside my heart is dissolving under the warm touch of your holy presence. I do not need to look strong anymore. I do not need to perform for the applause of a blind world. I am your beloved child, and that royal identity is enough to anchor my soul through every storm. I rest in your arms. Cleanse my biological temple of every hidden disease and silent tension. I invite your healing power to saturate every single cell, bone, and organ in my physical body. I break every generational agreement with sickness and early decay today. My body is a living sanctuary of the Most High, and no darkness can dwell where your holy light shines. I receive complete health tonight. I surrender my natural ambition to your holy purpose. I give you full permission to shut every door that leads away from my destiny and open every gate that releases your glory. Use my life as a clean vessel for your kingdom expansion. Let my words bring light to those who suffer in silence, and let my home be a safe refuge for weary souls. I am your servant. Lord, I silence every lingering thought of self-doubt in my spirit right now. I reject the toxic lies that told me I was unworthy of your rich blessings. I step out of the shadows of my past mistakes because your blood has cleared my record completely. I step into the full authority of my royal inheritance, and I walk forward with unwavering confidence today. I am truly forgiven. I place my entire family line under the protective shadow of your altar tonight. I sever every ancestral curse of poverty, divorce, and spiritual confusion that haunted my lineage. The old chains are shattered forever. My children will walk in divine favor, and my descendants will inherit the overflowing promises of your holy covenant. My bloodline is redeemed today. Fill every quiet corner of my home with your divine peace right now. Let your holy angels guard my doors against every unseen attack of the enemy. When I lie down to sleep tonight, my mind will remain still, and my soul will rest in absolute security. I will wake up tomorrow morning with fresh joy, renewed vigor, and sharp clarity for my next steps. I am safe in you. I surrender my small human understanding of time. I stop rushing your sovereign process, and I embrace the quiet waiting room as a sacred place of transformation. You are making all things beautiful in your perfect season, and I know that my current waiting is not a delay, but a divine preparation for my sudden breakthrough. I wait with gladness. Take my tongue, my hands, and my daily choices tonight. Let my life be a living sacrifice that brings honor to your holy name wherever I walk. I refuse to return to the cold cages of my past habits. I burn the bridges behind me, and I fix my eyes entirely on the glorious future you have prepared for my vessel. My heart is locked on you. I receive your deep inner healing for every trauma that made me feel small. I declare that my mind is completely restored, and my spirit is overflowing with divine power. The heavy fog of confusion has lifted from my eyes today. I see my purpose clearly, and I step into my divine assignment without fear, hesitation, or regret. I am fully restored tonight. Lord, I thank you for hearing every quiet sigh of my heart during this prayer. I seal this holy covenant in the invisible realm with my complete obedience today. No dark force can steal the deep peace that rests upon my soul right now. I walk away from this altar as a victorious child of the Most High King, forever set free and forever loved. Amen. My beloved child, as your prayer ascends to my throne, feel my eternal peace settling upon your living temple right now. The heavy burden you carried into this room is gone forever. I have stamped my royal seal upon your forehead, and no weapon forged by the enemy can destroy the divine covenant established between us tonight. Your heart is now a quiet sanctuary of my presence. You are safe. I have wiped away the stain of your silent tears, and I have replaced your deep weariness with my supernatural strength. Walk forward with your head held high, because the King of Kings goes before you to make every crooked path straight. Your household is surrounded by my holy fire, and your hands will soon hold the tangible harvest of your long endurance. Rest deeply tonight. The quiet night is no longer a place of fear for your soul. It is now a sacred chamber of divine communion where my love restores your biological temple and renews your mind. Sleep in complete peace, my precious child. The dark storm has passed, the morning light is breaking over your horizons, and your royal inheritance is officially secured forever. My child, the atmosphere over your home has shifted forever tonight. You carry a deep peace that the chaotic world can never understand. But as you prepare to step back into your daily routine, you must guard the borders of your sanctuary against dark counterattacks. The enemy waits outside your door to steal the fresh oil you just received. You must secure your boundary lines before you close your eyes today. Turn this spiritual peace into a legal action in the invisible realm right now. Subscribe to this sanctuary right now and turn on the Watchman notification bell as a permanent mark that your household belongs to the light. Do not leave your living temple unguarded for a single moment. Seal your covenant before you step back into the chaotic noise of the world. Open the comments section below and type 777 immediately to seal this prophetic decree. When those numbers leave your fingers, you are signing an unshakable contract that exists in realms far beyond human sight. You are declaring out loud that your long season of lack and silent tears is officially closed. Let heaven record your physical obedience tonight. Share this sacred lifeline with one weary soul who is fighting an invisible battle in the dark tonight. Be the vehicle of deliverance my sovereign hands are using to awaken my royal children across the earth. As you extend my light to others, your own living temple will overflow with fresh favor and unshakable strength. You are a chosen chain breaker for your lineage. Walk forward into tomorrow with absolute confidence and royal pride. The heavy dark clouds have completely vanished from your horizons, and your breakthrough is officially unlocked. Rest deeply inside my eternal love tonight, for the Lord of hosts is guarding your household forever. Peace be still over your living temple. Amen.